Well, hello, sports fans. Thank you for joining me on this super Friday afternoon. It is sunny, cold, but sunny. Welcome to the Biokinetic K9. We are going to be talking about why keep training balanced with balanced training. Why should you do some balanced training? Why should you include it somewhere in your training program? So, if you like us, I've posted this video on some of the groups. So please, if you want to comment, like the Biokinetic K9 page, and then I can see you and we can chat and I can answer all your questions, because sometimes I may miss it if you're answering in that group. Okay, so let's see how we can go. Hi, Bob, Tracy, Phoebe, how are you guys? I hope you're going to enjoy the show. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section and I'll answer them as best as I can. So, why do the balance training bit with your dogs? Now, there's a few reasons. One of them you can see is to stay young. Why do I say staying young? Because for both people and dogs, if you think about it, when you were younger, that's the most important thing that your body needed, was to learn about balance, because you were starting to learn to walk, climb things and carry on. Same with puppies. Balancing is all about keeping young and exploring. It takes you back to your youth. Hi, Riani. Enjoy. So we're going to talk about how does it help a dog stay young. It's a foundational exercise. It takes them back. It's all what they did when they were exploring and investigating their surroundings. They are climbing over things and using their little balance muscles to get themselves through things and under things and around things. Same with people. So the whole exercise, the whole thing of having to balance on something, it's fun and it keeps you being young. Even if you're older now and you've got to get on a bike, first thing I do to get on a bike is I'm going to start to laugh, because my balance is not all there. I can ride a bike, but I don't do it every day. So for the first few seconds, you've got to find your balance and it's fun. So your balance training, it helps your dogs stay young. It's a foundational exercise. Foundational means it's very important that you help puppies with their balance. So if you're going to be doing any skills training with your puppies, always include some balance exercises. Very important. It helps their balance muscles develop so that their core develops, etc. And then what happens is, if you're going to include your balance training as the dog gets older, by the time your dog is a senior, just like people, the first thing that starts to go is that balance. You'll find older people, they can't really hold their balance. They've got to learn. I mean, even for me to stand on one leg, I used to fall over until somebody told me, "Oh, just pull your tummy in tight." And my word, you can balance. So there you go. Hi, Ravi. Enjoy the live. So when it comes to balance training, it helps your dog stay young. Just like when we were younger and going through jungle gyms, when your dog was younger, he was a puppy, he explored. So if you're including these balance trainings now as he gets older, it keeps them in that youthful state. What's the next one? Let's see. It helps strengthens the core, and of course then life improves. If you don't have a strong core and you have to bend over, you're going to be falling over left, right and center. You need a strong core just to sit up straight. You need a strong core just to hold yourself when you're walking. If you don't have a strong core and you start walking, your body gets tired. If you don't have a strong core, you tire earlier. Core muscles are not working at 100% power all day. It's impossible. But they are working all day, just to keep your skeleton upright, or your dog's skeleton in the right position that it's supposed to be. So your core is working all day, and life becomes much better if it's not that such a draining thing on the body, just for you to sit up, move around, stand, sit, go and explore, do the things that you want to do. Same with the dogs. If they want to go and explore, and they want to run around, they want to go investigate here, there, and everywhere, life improves that they can jump up on the couch and lie and relax, that they can sit up for their food and they can give you their best attention, their core muscles. If the core muscles are strengthened, it doesn't mean that they are these huge big muscles that are pumping all day. Core muscles just have to work at 30% all day long. It's just that they're working all day long. So there are a lot of little muscles that have to work all day long. And if those muscles are not working, then your big muscles have to take over, and they're used to doing powerful things, and they are not designed to work all day long. And that's when your muscles and your body starts to fatigue. So if you've got good balance, it improves just your core strength, and you have a better life from it. Same for your dogs. And of course, if life improves, so will their performance. If your dog is doing any kind of sport, they need that control of their trunk, of the muscles underneath their spine and around their spine and inside their groin and inside their hips. They need that strength to keep themselves together. They need that strength. And if they've got control of that through balance, because balance is just going off balance and how quickly you recover. That's what balance training is. So you're going to put your dog on something that is not quite stable, and they're slightly off balance, and then one foot will go off, but how quickly their body can adjust and become stable again. That's what balance training is. It's like a challenge. That's why it's so much fun. If you're going onto the jungle gyms and you are trying to hang on and you're trying to balance, or you're trying to walk on a low beam and you're falling off the pavement, that balance, it's the speed of recovery. So when you're doing IGP, the speed of recovery, if the ground is a little bit wet and the feet are slipping, or they're fighting a helper, and the helper's not moving in a organized sequence tempo, and they've got to get their own tempo with that helper. That balance training, that's what helps them. The hold and bark, the balance and the tempo at the guarding of the blind, with agility, the running on the ramps, and then stopping quickly on the touch pads, that core balance so that they don't fall over and they don't slip off. All of those things, that's how their performance improves. Of course, performance and balance only improves and the dog remains young if balance training is not a scary thing. It's got to protect the dog against an injury. So when you're training balance, we're not talking about putting the dog on 4 donuts and see how high he can balance. He can either balance or he can't balance. It's not about the height of the balance beam. The balance beam can be this high and he still has to balance. It would be the exact same balance skill as if it was this high. So when you're doing balance training, it's not about putting your dog in a fearful situation. It's about maintaining a good situation, a challenging situation, an interesting situation. The dog must be into what's going on, and he must try and figure his way out and hold his balance. And oh, this must be exciting. So balance must never be a scary situation. If it's a scary situation, how are you going to protect your dog against injury? Balance training protects them against injury in their sport and in everyday life. So, for example, even a person, if they trip, and that speed of recovery from the trip is going to protect you in your everyday life from falling. So your core balance muscles is going to stop you from falling and hold you a little bit more stable. Same with the dog. But if you're going to teach balance training and it's a scary exercise, the dog is just going to freeze. So you want the balance exercises to be fun, to be rewarding, to be exciting, to be interesting. They must want to go around and investigate and to get through things. Balance training protects against injury, especially with your search and rescue dogs, when they have to go and maneuver through various obstacles to get through various buildings. If they're going through airport and searching through all of those crates and those strange things, or a fallen building, they have to maneuver and get through all of things. It must be interesting and exciting to get through, and their body must be able to cope with where their brain wants to take them. So you're protecting it against injury. So make it something that the dog wants to do, not something that is whose dog can stand on the highest platform and balance there. Yes, it may be wow looking, but is it necessary? If anything goes wrong, is the risk that you're taking worth that ego reward of look at what my dog can do? So always bear in mind what you are trying to achieve. It's not about this super skills test. It's about promoting your sport and promoting your life of your dog and promoting the wellness of your dog. So balance training, yes, protects against injury if you allow and you train so that it protects against injury. It's not about this, look what my dog can do in balance training. That's not the goal of balance training. It's an exciting thing for the dog to do. That's what you want to do. Because why? When a dog goes and investigates and wants to see, and he's going back to his youth and he's maneuvering through things, it stimulates thinking. Because where must he put this foot and where must he put that foot? And how can he hold his balance so that he doesn't fall off? All of those things, it stimulates the brain. And if the brain is stimulated, it's been proven in humans and in dogs that there is a correlation between an active brain that is using complex movements. It delays the onset of dementia. So it promotes thinking in the dog. So you want your dog, especially in sports, you want your dog to be able to think, and you want your dog to be able to think in split seconds as it approaches any type of equipment and obstacle that it's got to get through. It must be able to calculate and know what it must do with its body to get through that safely and with power and with speed that is required in whatever sport you are doing. So your balance training, it stimulates thinking, it stimulates complex thought patterns, and that helps with your own sport training, where your dog is able to think through various complex obstacles, especially in your agility, etc. It's not the same old. The dog has to think about what's coming up next, and the body must be able to handle what's coming up next. That's what your balance training is, all part of a balance training program. So of course, a balance training program is not just balance training. It includes your strength training, your cardio, your power, your speed, your sports training. Whatever program that you're putting together, your program must always be geared towards promoting the sport that you're doing. We're never talking about for a sport dog, a general fitness program. Your sport dog, you must do what he's going to promote your sport, not what is going to promote you as a handler's ego. You want to promote your dog in his sport so that he can perform and achieve the best that he can do in his sport. And it includes various elements, and one of the elements we are talking about today is, of course, balance. But balance has got loads of things that promote and help the dog, and we are going through them now. So it's not just about balance training. Balance training, strength training, cardio training, they are all separate training elements. And it's wise to keep them separate. So don't try and do a strength training exercise on a balancing platform. You are using the wrong kind of muscles. Don't try and do a cardio exercise on a balancing equipment. You can injure your dog. So keep your training for its purpose. So strength is for strength, balance is for balance. Don't forget to include all the elements in your program, but keep them targeted for what you're trying to achieve in your sport. Of course, balance training, if it's promoting thinking, that brain stimulation and the promotion of thought, it promotes a calmer dog. If you've got an anxious dog, it's now got to focus and concentrate on something else. So the brain is too busy to be anxious. It's got to focus on a task at hand, which is, if you've put it together correctly, fun and engaging, and it promotes curiosity out of the dog, and that reduces anxiety. So it takes the dog out of its anxious state into a calmer state where it's got to investigate and try and balance on something and try and please you in what you're doing and trying to get a reward. So this focus and concentration that's required in balance training, it does increase the general well-being of the dog. And you want to be able to promote that on switch of focus and concentration, because you can use it prior to a trial. So your balance training, if you're doing it properly and you're not scaring the dog with these high things of what it must all climb and balance on too soon, just start low. It's got to be fun. Don't start up there. Start low and grow your dog to where it needs to be. And you will have a confident dog. A dog that can do anything with his body. And when a dog is confident, it is automatically calmer. Because nothing in the world scares it. So there's nothing to be worried about. And what's nice about balance training is that it's really quick and easy to do. It's not a hard thing to do. Just let them go and walk on a thinner path. Let them climb onto something. Let them climb onto the couch. Let them walk on the couch. They've got to really work their balance muscles. It's loads of fun. If I want to play with my dog, let him jump on the bed and play with him, and he's got to hold himself there. All of these things, it's really quick and easy to do. If I haven't been on my bicycle for some time and I get back onto the bike, it's a few minutes and I can ride it again. So any balance training, within 1 to 2 weeks, your dog's got an understanding of what its body must do. So it doesn't take, it's not rocket science. It's easy, it's fun. Why not include it in your program? Just the only caution I would say is don't make it scary. Encourage a growth in confidence in your dog. Encourage curiosity in the dog. That's what you want to do. Let him try and figure these things out. And if he's getting things right, encourage him. That's what you want out of your dog. So that your dog looks to you and he goes like, yeah, look at me, I can do this. Let me just climb and watch me balance. And you can reward him. That's what you want out of your dog. So that is what balance training can do. Include it in your program. Don't just go for flexibility. Don't just do cardio. Don't just do, keep it a nice balanced program, but geared towards your sport. Some sports require more strength. Some sports require more cardio, but it doesn't mean it's to the exclusion of the other elements of your training program. Make sure that you have a good balance for the sport that you're doing, or even if it's for a health reason for your dog. If your dog has got to lose weight, if your dog has got to take it easy because he's recovering. All of these things, make sure everything remains within a balanced program, but balanced also means that you may have to concentrate on one of the elements a little bit more to protect their body in the sport. So know what sport you're doing, know what exercises is required in your sport, and how to keep that balance so that the body of your dog is protected in his sport. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's quick talk. It's just about balance training, but it's not just balance. Balance is a lot of things, and it can be great. Make sure you include it somewhere in your training programs with your dog, especially for the sport dogs. They need to understand. And if you have any questions or any comments, please go to the Biokinetic Canine page, because that is where my video is, and I'll be able to answer you there. If you're answering on lots of different other platforms, and I can't always get you, and then I may miss something important, and I wouldn't want to miss something from you guys. So like our page. If you have any comments here, then put them here and I'll get back to you. Bob, you are so excited for Monday. Oh, so am I. So am I. I've got lots of things that I want to see and talk to you about your dog. So, yes, awesome. And for you, Riani, I got your videos. So we're going to watch them and we're going to go through them, I think it's next week, at the end of next week. No problems. Okay, everybody. Have a very great weekend. Have a fabulous Friday. Have fun with your dogs. Don't make your balance training scary. Enjoy them. They're trying really hard for you. And then I will get to you guys again next week. Have a very fantastic weekend. Of course, my website is the Biokinetic Canine, where you can learn about me. We're doing some awesome things. They're going to be ready soon. And you can get hold of me at my email on fit@thebiokineticcanine.com. All right, so have a very fabulous weekend, and I will be seeing you. Let me put up all my necessary information so that you've got it, and I will say cheers.